Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Why No One Plays series. And in today's video, we are going to be discussing Anti-Venom. Now, Anti-Venom's been in the game for a while now, and unfortunately, he doesn't see as much play as you'd expect. Now, in my opinion, he's a very solid champion. He has a lot going for him, and definitely does have the damage. But before we actually discuss his negatives, let's actually go over his overall kit. Now, Anti-Venom is immune to Incinerate as well as poisons, and also during the opponent's special attacks, he gains 40% defensive combat power rate per debuff on the opponent. Now when the fight starts, he places an indefinite Clintar debuff. While the opponent is suffering from this debuff, for every 10 hits in his combo meter, he's able to inflict a specific debuff. Now under his health bar, you can see there's actually three sort of passives there. And the first one is the Spectre debuff, which reduces opponent regeneration rate by 16.66%. The second one is Disorient, which reduces defensive ability accuracy as well as block proficiency by 12.5%. And the last one is a Decelerate, which lowers evade and unstoppable ability accuracy by 33%. And you can pretty much change whichever debuff you want to inflict on the opponent by doing a second medium attack. His heavy attacks inflict a stagger that lasts for 10 seconds, although this kinda has a weird bug where it kinda lets the buff stay there for a while and then only a bit later it takes it away. Very weird and pretty much needs to be fixed immediately, but okay. Now as for the special one, it activates an accelerated mutation passive and also inflicts a Petrify which has 40% potency. Now on activation of the special 2, you consume all the genetic memory debuffs that are on the opponent and actually gain a Fury passive for each and every one of them. This Fury lasts for 25 seconds and doesn't really have a limit on how many you can have. Now as for the special 3, you actually activate an evolved mutation passive which increases the maximum amount of genetic memory debuffs you can have on the opponent from 4 to 8. Now this passive lasts only for 25 seconds, but you can also refresh it by activating a normal mutation passive. Pretty much the one from the special one, but yeah. But moving over to the awakened ability. With the awakened ability, each time you are struck from a non-critical hit, you activate a regeneration which recovers up to 65% of the damage that was actually taken. Now unfortunately, if your Clintar debuff is purified, then the regen also goes away, but yeah. The second part of the passive pretty much just increases the debuff potency for every 10 hits in the combo meter. But that is pretty much it for the kit. Overall, he definitely does have a lot of utility, and he definitely does have the numbers too, but in my opinion, there are actually 3 issues with him. The first one is that in order to gain your damage, you pretty much have to sacrifice all of the utility via your special 2. You pretty much remove all the debuffs, and if you actually did need those debuffs in the fight, then you're pretty much yeesh. Now the second problem I actually have with him is the evolved mutation passive that you actually gain from the special 3 doesn't last long enough. This thing goes away pretty fast, man. And if the opponent is not aggressive enough, you can pretty much just lose it completely. And also your personal debuffs might also go away, and so yeah, it's really just not that great. And the third problem I have with him is his staggers don't actually immediately nullify buffs. If the opponent activates a buff while the stagger is active, it might even take like 3 seconds for it to actually go away, which I don't know what's wrong with his stagger, but yeah. Perhaps changing it to a passive might make it work. I'm not too sure, man. That's a Kabam issue in my opinion. Apart from those issues though, Anti-Venom is pretty great. Especially for longer fights, he definitely does shine most there. But for shorter fights, he kinda isn't as fast as other science champions. And that's pretty much why nobody plays him. Now, a synergy I do want him to get in the future is one that actually turns all of his personal debuffs into passives so that his Clintar debuff doesn't go away and so that he can actually take a lot more fights. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and let me know down in the comments which champion I should make a video on next. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!